Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking into a world where your latest smartphone's price tag. It's Berge's entry fee. You might be really happy with your new iPhone or Samsung, thinking, this is top tier, and it is. But for some people, that's just the starting point. We're talking about phones that make those seem like pocket change, frankly. Our mission today is to unpack this really opulent, sometimes kind of baffling world of luxury mobile phones. We want to figure out what really makes a phone luxury, look at the market, meet some of the creators, and yes, count down some of the most mind blowingly expensive ones ever sold. Get ready for some real aha moments about what serious wealth buys you in a phone.
And it's not some tiny little niche corner either. This market, the luxury smartphone market, it's worth around $618 million a year right now. There's actually a fascinating study from Cognitive Market Research. They track consumer trends, projecting it to hit about $890 million by 2025. That's growing at something like 4% annually. So, okay, it's niche, but it's surprisingly robust. It's definitely expanding.
Yeah.
Shows there's real sustained demand for these, ultra-exclusive devices. Bigger than you might think.
Yeah, that context is really key. So when we say luxury phone, we're not just talking about anything over a grand. It seems much more defined than that. What really sets them apart?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And cognitive market research actually breaks them down into two pretty distinct categories. Understanding this really helps clarify what they're about. First up, you've got your luxury smartphones. Now, these are functionally quite similar to the high-end phones we all know. They pack in the tech, great screens, powerful processors, amazing cameras, all the apps. But the luxury part, that comes from how they combine this tech with just incredible materials. We're talking solid gold, platinum, flawless gemstones, diamonds, really unique, often custom finishes. So the appeal is that mix. Top performance plus total exclusivity and a unique look.
Okay, that makes sense. But then there's the second category, and this one.
Hmm.
Well, it makes you think. Luxury dumb phones. Feature phones. My head immediately goes to those, basic flip phones from years ago. Just calls and texts. And we all know the regular dumb phone market is shrinking. So
Yeah.
how is the luxury version not just surviving, but actually growing? Especially in Western countries. That seems counterintuitive.
It is a bit of a paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
The growth seems to be largely driven by this whole idea of digital detoxing. You have people actively looking for simpler devices. Not to disconnect completely, but just to cut down on the constant noise, the distractions.
Yeah.
And for some, the ultimate luxury is actually becoming, less tech. It's a conscious choice for simplicity, which ironically costs more. These luxury dumb phones, they might be minimal on tech, but they have exquisite design, handcrafted build quality, same top-tier materials, gold, gems, whatever as the smartphones. It tells you something, right? For a certain slice of the super wealthy, value isn't always about more features. Sometimes it's about elegant simplicity, focused communication.
Wow. So if you're listening now, which one grabs you more? The super-powered luxury smartphone or the sort of digital detox luxury dumb phone? Really makes you think about tech, doesn't it? And that leads us right into the why. Why did these things cost so much? Beyond the obvious bling, what are the pillars holding up these prices?
Well, there are basically three main drivers. The first one, probably the most obvious, is exclusivity and high-end materials. These aren't just mass-produced. They're often painstakingly crafted. Think components made from solid gold, pure platinum, hundreds of perfectly set diamonds, maybe even rare leathers like, actual crocodile skin.
Crocodile skin, wow.
Yeah. And they're often hand-finished, maybe limited runs, or even completely unique one-off pieces. So they're functional, but also kind of aesthetic objects. And beyond just the materials, there's huge demand for customization bespoke engravings, unique paint jobs, collaborations with big luxury brands. Think Virtue and Bentley or Dolce & Gabbana teaming up with Gold Genie. That just adds another layer of prestige and, cost.
Right, that makes sense. It turns it from just a phone into a real statement piece. But it's not all about looks, is it? Some offer something very practical. Security and privacy. And we're talking way beyond just a fingerprint scanner here. A lot of these luxury phones boast really advanced encryption for calls, texts, data, like serious cryptography.
Exactly. That's the science of secure communication. Using complex codes so only the right person can read the message. Total privacy.
Okay.
And some even give access to private communication channels or, heavily encrypted networks.
And then you get the sort of James Bond features.
Pretty much. Panic buttons,
Wow.
Self-destruct features, cases you supposedly can't tamper with, stuff that really appeals to, say, high-profile business figures or people who just really need that security blanket. Communication security is absolutely vital for them.
Got it. So materials, security. What's the third pillar?
The third one, maybe a bit less talked about, is productivity and convenience. Some of these devices come bundled with incredibly advanced personalized AI assistants. They learn your needs. Or you get access to exclusive, real human concierge services. They can book anything, flights, private art viewings, you name it.
Like a personal assistant in your phone.
Kinda, yeah. And there might be industry-specific features too, like super secure data transfer for certain professions. But it's always good to remember that Andy Warhol quote,
Hmm.
about how everyone drinks the same Coca-Cola, rich or poor. In a lot of ways, the basic functionality, making a call, sending a text, browsing, isn't fundamentally different from a top-end iPhone. The real difference is in those materials, the bespoke element, and those unique services that cater to a very specific lifestyle.
That's a great analogy. Okay, so understanding all that, what's actually fueling the growth in this, let's face it, super niche market? It can't just be impulse buys.
No, definitely not. There are a few key factors driving the sustained demand. First off, it's the demographic. High net worth individuals, or HNWIs. Now, their numbers dipped slightly, maybe 3% in 2023, because of global economic stuff, slowdowns, COVID after effects. But the overall population of HNWIs is expected to bounce back pretty strongly as the economy recovers. And more wealthy people naturally means more demand for luxury goods, including these phones.
Okay, so the customer base is growing. What else?
Well, there's also just the rising global demand for luxury goods in general. It's a persistent trend. People worldwide have an appetite for high-end items. And a really big factor here is the rise of an affluent middle class, especially in places like China and India. These new consumers are increasingly looking for status symbols, unique possessions, and that's definitely boosting the luxury market overall.
Right. And you mentioned collaborations earlier. Those strategic collaborations must be key too, right? Pairing a famous luxury name with a phone maker seems like a winning formula.
Absolutely. It really cements interest. When you fuse the prestige of, say, a design house or a car brand with the tech, it creates this kind of irresistible appeal for those who can afford it. It validates a whole concept.
So let's talk about some of these companies, the architects behind this opulence. Who are the key players?
Okay, well, you almost have to start with Vertu. They were arguably the pioneers. They actually came out of Nokia way back when. They really set the standard, combining that luxury feel with tech. They've had some ups and downs, ownership changes, bankruptcy scares, but they've made a comeback, especially strong in the Asia-Pacific region now, using Android, but still with those signature luxurious materials.
And then there's Tonino Lamborghini. Now, that's not the car company, right?
Correct. It's a separate brand, founded by the son of Ferruccio Lamborghini. It's more of a lifestyle brand. It definitely takes inspiration from the cars, though. You see design elements like bearings, piston rods, suspension looks integrated into the phones. Their target is apparently the young, successful, and self-confident people who want unique style but still need good tech, Italian design focus.
Okay. And then you have the customizers, the ones who take existing phones and elevate them.
Exactly. Like Goldgenie. They don't build phones from scratch. They take your brand new iPhone or Samsung and, well, transform it. They're famous for plating devices in 24K gold, encrusting them with diamonds, all sorts of embellishments. You could get your iPhone gold dipped starting around maybe $4,000. And it goes way up from there with gems and stuff, pure bespoke work.
And you mentioned Stuart Hughes earlier. His name comes up a lot with the super expensive one.
Yeah, he's a master designer.
Yeah.
Based in the UK, I believe. He specializes in customizing high-end tech laptops, gadgets, and especially phones. He turns them into these incredible, often diamond-laden art pieces.
And for just pure outrageousness.
You'd probably look at Caviar.
Yeah.
They're a Russian brand known for just incredibly ostentatious iPhone mods. I mean, they've put actual Rolex Daytona watches into the back of iPhone.
Wait, a whole watch?
Yeah, pieces of moon rock, solar panels. I even read about one with genuine Tyrannosaurus Rex teeth embedded in it.
T-Rex teeth? Seriously,
But-
how do you even explain that?
Right. It's definitely pushing boundaries. Pure ostentation.
Okay. And Goldfish?
Ah, yes, Goldish. Swiss brand. Started around 2005, they're known for both luxury watches and handmade smartphones. They really focus on that combination of quality design, performance, and premium materials. Their stuff often has these really distinctive sculptural shapes, high artistry in the construction.
It's interesting, too, to remember some brands that dip their toes in this market, even if they didn't stick around long term.
Definitely. You had Tag Heuer, the watchmaker. They had phones like the Meridius back around 2008, maybe in the $5,000 range. Aston Martin did a collaboration with Motorola. customizing some V600s back in 2005. And Porsche Design had partnerships, first with BlackBerry, then Huawei between about 2011 and 2016. Those limited editions are collector's items now.
So not all struck gold, so to speak, but they were part of the story.
Exactly. Added
Wow.
to the mix.
All right, let's get to the main event, the part everyone's probably waiting for. Let's talk about some of the most famous, most unbelievably expensive phones ever made. These are more like legends than devices. Starting right at the absolute peak. Number one, the Falcon Supernova iPhone 6 Pink Diamond. The price, an incredible $48.5 million.
$48.5 million.
Oh,
Wow.
million. It was a unique iPhone 6, took about 10 weeks to make back in 2014, solid 24K gold casing. But the real showstopper was this flawless 2.7 carat pink diamond, just embedded in the back, only one ever made. Rumor is, it was bought by Indian socialite Nita Ambani, its current location. Unknown.
Yeah.
True mythic phone.
Just staggering. Okay, coming in at number 2, still pretty eye-watering, the Stuart Hughes iPhone 4S Elite Gold. Price tag on that one, $9.4 million. This was back in 2012. Platinum and 24K gold construction, covering over 500 flawless diamonds. Even the Apple logo was made of 50 diamonds. And the home button buyers could pick either an 8.6 carat diamond or a 7.4 carat pink diamond.
Choices.
Right, only 2 ever made. One supposedly went to Roman Abramovich. Just extreme bespoke luxury.
And Stuart Hughes again at number 3 with the iPhone 4 Diamond Rose. This one sold for $8 million in 2010. It actually held the most expensive title for a bit before the 4S Elite Gold. This was less phone, more functional art piece. 18-karat rose gold body, again, 500 diamonds, apparently quite heavy. Home button was a 7.4-carat flawless pink diamond, again, only 2 made. One is reportedly owned by an Australian businessman, Tony Sage.
Incredible craftsmanship. Now, jumping down the list a bit, number 6 is really interesting, the Diamond Crypto Smartphone. $1.3 million, released way back in 2006 by an Austrian jeweler, Peter Eloisson. What's fascinating here is the name, crypto. This wasn't about blockchain crypto, obviously. This was 2006. It was about cryptology. Security.
Ah, so security was a big selling point even then.
Huge. It was built to protect user data for the super rich, made of gold, platinum, 78 diamonds. And there were whispers about features like bulletproof glass, maybe even self-destruct mechanisms, clearly aimed at people who valued privacy just as much as bling.
Okay, and number 7, also from 2006, the Goldfish Lemillion, $1.2 million. This one had that really distinctive boomerang shape, didn't it? Swiss made.
That's the one. 18 keel, solid gold, 120 high-clarity diamonds. But what's kind of amazing is, even for 2006, it was very much form over function. No Wi-Fi, no web browser, just calls and texts, basically.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, only 3 were ever made. Extreme rarity.
And then jumping to number 10, we get a great example of that luxury dumb phone category we talked about. The Vertu Signature Cobra. This came out in 2017, a collaboration with the French jeweler Boucheron. Price was $504,000.
Limited to just 8 pieces. And yeah, no camera, no recording, purely secure calls and texts. But the design, it had this ruby and emerald cobra literally wrapped around the phone body. Sapphire keypad, titanium, ceramic leather.
And concierge button.
Yep, with a ruby key, apparently. For those bespoke services, it perfectly shows luxury without all the smart tech.
And one last special mention, the Goldfish Revolution. About $500,000.
Ah, yes. Released in 2008, only 9 of these existed. 18-karat white gold body, 29 carats of diamonds.
Yeah.
And, incredibly, it integrated a Swiss-made Frederick Juvenon chronograph watch right into the phone itself.
A watch built in.
Exactly. An instant collector's item. Talk about a fusion of jewelry, watchmaking, and phone tech. Pure symbol of wealth.
Looking back at that list, it's fascinating, isn't it? How the market seems to have maybe shifted slightly.
It really is. You notice a lot of those multi-million-dollar phones, the really diamond-heavy ones, they're mostly from that 2006 to 2015 period. It suggests maybe a subtle change. Luxury phones today, still incredibly exclusive, still expensive, obviously, but perhaps there's a bit less emphasis now on just covering it in diamonds and maybe more on seamlessly integrated tech, those bespoke services, maybe more subtle design rather than pure overt bling. And I think people often view these less as disposable tech and more like works of art or collector's pieces. That helps justify the price, even when the tech inside gets outdated so fast.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And that brings us to a final thought for you listening in. For most of us, a phone's value is, what it does, how it connects us, informs us, its function. But what if its real value, for some, lies simply in its incredible beauty, its absolute rarity, the statement it makes, or maybe even the secrets it keeps safe? We've really only just scratched the surface of this glittering, fascinating world today. What aspects of luxury tech do you find the most compelling, or maybe the most baffling? Something to think about.